Quilters Newsletter TV, the Quilters community, is brought to you by Handy Quilter, designed by a quilter for quilters. Robert Kaufman Fabrics, quality fabrics for quilting. Sulky, express yourself with Sulky and create with confidence. And The Warm Company, inspiring products for creative people. Hi, and welcome to Quilters Newsletter TV, the Quilters community. My name is Mary Kate Carr-Petras, and today I'm really excited to welcome you to the first of a 12-part series featuring our special guest, Patrick Lose. You may know Patrick as a fabric designer for Robert Kaufman Fabrics or from his magazine Quilting Celebrations. Welcome, Patrick.
Thanks, Mary
Really
Kate.
happy to have you here.
I'm really glad to be here. Thanks for asking me.
So today we're going to kick things off with a trunk show. Patrick has brought a lot of things for us to look at over the course of his 20 years in quilting. He has developed many techniques and designs, and he's here to show us a few.
A few, yeah, quite a few actually. 20
Great.
years makes a lot of quilts, I guess. And one of the first things I wanted to show is I'm doing a Block of the Month series with Fons and Porter that's been kitted, and so each month brings a different block and that can eventually be made into a whole quilt, or these can just be 12-inch square blocks that can be displayed, you know, for the holidays. This is the December one, Santa Claus. I tried to introduce some new things too. I'm doing some hand embellishing with things like pearl cotton and even some crystals and things like that. This is the January block, just kind of a wintry polar bear. February, Valentine.
Yes.
I was born on St. Patrick's Day,
Oh,
so
nice.
I always have to do something for St. Patrick's Day in March. April, this is actually one of my favorite ones from the series, and I just love how the colors work in this one, the complementary and the contrasting colors. So, May flowers. These are all
Really
also
sweet.
fabrics that I've designed for Robert Kaufman.
Okay,
So,
yeah, I recognize some of them.
yeah.
They work really well.
Nice graduation project
Yes,
for June.
absolutely.
And then the July block, which is where we're at. We're actually about ready to release the August one, but this is the last one that's been done, a nice beach theme.
Love it.
I'm also working on my pattern line. I took some time away from working on my patterns, doing so much work with Quilting Celebrations. So it's nice to get back to it and get some new things, refresh the pattern line. So this is one of the first that I've done. I actually just got the project finished. I don't even have the instructions written or anything like that yet, but this one's called North Pole Portraits.
I love it.
And it has kind of a scrapbooky feel to it. I wanted them to look like, you know, photos of the characters at the North Pole and Santa's workshop and all that. And I did kind of a fun thing with the little photo mounts.
I love
They're
that.
actually dimensional,
Really
you know, just
cute.
by folding a square in half.
Right, and it's perfect. I mean, that's
Yeah.
looks like that old time photo
Yeah.
album or the scrapbooking or
Yeah,
something.
and it's really easy piecing too. And you can see I haven't even done a lot of detailed quilting on it. People can do whatever they want, you know, with the quilting. And, you know, some people choose to do buttonhole stitching for their finishing their appliques. I do satin stitching most of the time. And that's something that we're going to work on a little bit in a future segment. But this one offers a lot to a beginner because they can learn the satin stitching. They can learn some simple piecing that isn't too intimidating for them, you know. I do a lot of holiday, with quilting celebrations,
it makes sense.
especially. So most of the things here are going to be holiday related. This piece, Happy 4th, this is from a book I did for C&T Publishing, my poster quilts book. And I call them poster quilts mostly because of the size. They're just a very doable, easy size to work with. And this is raw edge applique.
Yeah.
And the reason that that's successful is because the quilting is done densely enough over the top of it to hold the appliques down. I use Steam-A-Seam 2 from the Warm Company for my fusible and do fusible applique. And honestly, I have a couple of quilts actually that are 12 and 13 years old each, and they're raw edge applique and they're still adhered to the, you know, so if you get a good fusible, you're going to have a good quality finished product, even if it's raw edge applique.
Yeah, and if it frays a little bit at the edge, especially for something like this,
oh yeah, it's
totally
kind of fun
works.
looking. Yeah. This one, you better watch out. I actually call this my babysitter banner because it's great to put in the kids' room as a reminder of what's going on and that you're being watched.
I'm going to keep that one in mind.
Yeah,
I might have to make
you've got
this
a couple
one.
of little ones.
I do.
Yeah.
I might have to make this one.
Yeah, this one's called
Really
Bright
cute.
Christmas.
I love that.
Obvious reasons.
Love those old style
I do too.
bulbs.
The old bulb.
The ones
C9s, I think they're called.
The ones that'll set your tree on fire
Yeah.
if you leave them on all night. But that way, a safe way of displaying them.
Yeah,
So-
exactly. This one's called Flaky Fella. He looks an awful lot like Frosty the Snowman from the cartoon, and I did not intend that, but it's kind of how I draw. I mean,
Yeah.
he's sort of the kind of character I do anyway. I really like the hexagon shape. It's an easy way to do snowflakes because snowflakes are awfully hard to satin stitch. So
this is applique.
yeah,
Okay.
this part is applique. There's satin stitching, around the hexagon, and then you just divide the
Right.
hexagon into the 6 parts easily with more satin stitching. So it's
Very
an easy
cool.
way to do snowflakes.
So this is patterned. You've got
Yeah, this is in my pattern line. This one is also, I do a lot of table runners and table toppers of different kinds. They're one of the most popular things in my line. They're useful, they're
Yes.
it's
They're
not
quick
like, yeah,
and they're useful.
right,
Just
and
like
it's
the
not
best of both worlds.
something that it's going to turn into a UFO. If you buy a pattern for a table runner or a placemat, you're going to actually
Exactly.
finish it. So this one's called Fall Finery, and this is
Nice.
the placemat and then the runner. And it's one of my favorite patterns, actually. And so is the next one. This one's called Sugar and Spice. And this was inspired by my grandmother's kitchen at Christmas time.
That is real.
There was always a lot of baking going on. And this one has more of a sort of a homespun,
Yeah.
rustic feel to it. I really wanted to design yarn-dyed fabrics, and this was my first venture into that. I designed a line of yarn-dyed
Oh, wow.
fabrics for Robert Kaufman, which yarn-dyed is just the term for a woven, a
Right.
plaid or a stripe. It's not a print fabric.
So you were able to really get the look that you wanted,
Oh,
that
yeah.
you remembered from
Yeah,
your childhood.
yeah. It's
That's
just
great.
that warm and holiday without being red and green necessarily. It's just a nice homey, and this is something that could stay on your table or whatever beyond the season. It doesn't have to be just Christmas.
Absolutely. Really cute.
Thank you. This is a great one again for Valentine's or just any day. Heart theme is very popular. I do a lot of things with hearts in it, and they always do well. People like to display them in their homes. So this is great for Valentine's Day.
This is applique as well?
Yeah, this is applique. It's just satin stitched, fusible applique. It's like you create a block with the two
And you
applique
piece it
pieces,
together there
right?
in the center.
Exactly.
Nice.
This one has probably been the most popular one from the book, and this is a birthday banner, or actually it's a table runner. But what you can do is by just making half of the piece, you can make it into a banner. Or the other thing that we've been suggesting to people, and they like the idea, is to split the runner in the center and make it longer, and you can turn this into a bed scarf. Like for a child's birthday, you drape their bed in the morning
really
before they wake up
cute.
with it. Yeah. So this has been a really popular design.
So they just, people on their own initiative, they just make the background fabric longer
Yeah.
and then applique, they make it as long as they want, and then they place the appliques
Right.
where they want.
Right.
That's
A lot of
great
my
idea.
table runners, I make a little bit shorter so that people can cut them, with the fabric, selvage to selvage. But most people do choose to go ahead and cut longer, or maybe piece something into the center to
Okay.
make their table runner a little bit longer. But I just want to make it as economical for them as possible.
That's great.
Here's another one for the 4th of July.
Now this is pieced, okay.
Yeah,
I wasn't sure if
the
that
stripes
was
are
a print or
pieced.
it looks great.
And I love to use metallic thread too, and people are so afraid of using metallics, and there really is there's no reason to be. I'll teach you some tips.
Don't
that
they
you don't
break really easily?
Not anymore.
Okay.
It's a much
We'll have to
different
talk about
different thing. Yeah. Here's another example too. A good party table runner. And again, this would split this in half, and it's a great, just a banner for a door or whatever on someone's birthday.
Or I can see it for, even though it's balloons, I can see it for like New Year's Eve or something.
Oh
It
yeah,
has that, kind of
definitely.
that black and
I was
shiny
thinking of this
look.
for New Year's Eve actually. So yeah,
Okay.
that's perfect. Now these are a couple of larger pieces, and this is probably one of the
That's
most popular ones
adorable.
from. I have
That's
a book out
adorable.
with C&T now that's special delivery quilts. I did about 10 years ago, and it's been my most popular book.
Okay.
And so we did a sequel to it, and this is Special Delivery Quilts 2, and this quilt is called Gentle Giraffe, and it's been pretty popular. So.
It's great. I mean, would be a great floor quilt. I can see.
Oh yeah, just a plain
boy,
mat.
girl.
Yeah,
Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
it's a lot of fun. And the one on the bottom here, this is called Bubbly Butterflies, and this is another one for my pattern line that I haven't quite got finished yet, but we actually showed it on Quilting Celebrations with Patrick Lose in the first season, and it was so popular. I hadn't intended to turn it into a pattern, but I decided, yeah, I need to go ahead and do that after all the response. So that's the finished quilt for that, Bubbly Butterflies.
That's a great.
And it's a great kids quilt or baby quilt. It's a good size for a baby quilt.
So this is appliqued on the applique, is that how
Yeah,
it's
and you know, when I do applique, I do a lot of windowing so that it's not really a lot of layers of fusible on top. And we're going to get into that also in a future segment. So I'll show you how to do that windowing.
That's great. Yeah. Beautiful.
I've got lots more to show in future segments, but that's what I have for today.
Well, thank you so much for bringing these. It gives us a great place to start and a kickoff. And well, like he said, we've got more episodes coming up. We're going to be talking about his techniques. We're going to be talking about his background, what brought him to quilting in the first place. So we hope you come back and join us next time. Thanks so much. Bye-bye. Quilters Newsletter TV, the Quilters community, is brought to you by Handy Quilter, designed by a quilter for quilters. Robert Kaufman Fabrics, quality fabrics for quilting. Sulky, express yourself with Sulky and create with confidence. And The Warm Company, inspiring products for creative people.